Good morning, guys. It is currently 7:57 a.m. on Thursday, the 37th day, I think I'm doing this. And I attended the first session about the universal laws last night. It is a 3-hour session, but I'm glad I did. I learned a lot and I took notes, and there's definitely a lot of questions I have, but I guess my point is that it's at bedtime anyway for my daughter, so it's a very good use of my time and my brain. The problem is the thing I want to tweak is I'm very proud of myself because I got completely ready for bed before it started. I was ready to go, but then when it was over, it was like my brain was still on. So I kept the earbuds in, which is a habit I'm working to change, because then the earbuds end up dying in the middle of the night, and then I wake up from that noise, and it's just not. I can't really afford to have really crappy sleep to the extent I can control right now, if that makes sense. Plus, I don't want to. So, learning, But that being said, it was really good. And then this morning, I woke up, I think right before 7, kind of jolted awake, which isn't fun. But I realized that I woke up with the thoughts of my current conditioning. So to not, as I'm building new neural pathways and reinforcing those, I need to almost expect myself to wake up with the past conditioning, because that's a lifetime of conditioning. It doesn't mean that I'm doomed or giving in or anything. It's just, oh, don't even listen to the very first thoughts, or don't pay credence to them. It's kind of like, I said this once, if you broke your arm, and so it's going to be in a cast for several months, and every day you woke up, you're like, is it healed yet? Is it healed yet? Is it healed yet? And so you're just disappointing yourself over and over, but you're not giving it time to heal, right? No. So ironically, but I'm grateful for it, that awareness of if I can even just get in the habit, the meta habit of my first thoughts in the morning, I'm not going to pay credence to, unless of course they're life-giving, because that's my current conditioning. So it's kind of like if you're building a habit of going to the gym, if you decided whether or not to go to the gym based on if you were at all sore, as you're building the habit of going to the gym, you're losing, you're knocking yourself out of the game before you even get a chance to get established in the game. So once I realized that, though, the exciting thing was I was like, what can I do? And I was like, so I did 2 quick tappings. I actually looked up some stuff quickly about just things that can help people with ADD, because I always say, it's not really the label, it's how it affects you. And it was funny because I was like, I really need to get some routines. A part of me has been resisting it, but I know, because I do this for my daughter and it works, when you have routines like bumpers, then you actually have way more freedom, right? So it was just so funny because that's the thing I stumbled on in my email was how to have routines. And, I know how to have routines. I'm just continually working on crafting the best, for me routine, especially as life obviously continually changes. So it was just funny because it was within the first 5 minutes of being conscious, it was having all these thoughts, but so, and I think it's just also really validating when you see that like what other people do as well. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to write out a routine and put it somewhere visible in my room. I'm thinking about putting it, I've got like a bookcase that like I look at the side of the bookcase when I wake up. I'm thinking about maybe putting it there. And then what's the resistance to that? Well, in the past, it was like, why do you need to write stuff down? Like all these things people said that I never would try to hurt someone. So I didn't even think twice that like sometimes people, when they see you growing, it makes them feel insecure. But instead of them owning that and like growing themselves, they try to knock you back down. And so I got knocked back down multiple times. And it is what it is. But moving forward, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do what works for me as I figure out what works for me. And that's exciting. So I thought about like, again, with the gym routine, someone might be like, I do arms every Wednesday, but I can do different arm workouts, but I do arms. So I could do the same thing where it's like, I do meditation and tapping every morning, but I can choose which exact one to do, right? But then I'm still on target is my point. So that's exciting. Overall, it's really exciting to be like, yeah, I get how, like I said, like when I was teaching, the structure, it's so funny because a part of our brain rebels against it, but the wiser part knows that we need it. Because otherwise it's like, it's not that it doesn't work in the moment, but there is no sense of like a core. So then if you are feeling like exhausted one day, it's like you have nothing to ground yourself in. And even if externally you still do fine, it all depends on how you feel at the end of the day. It really does, you know? So that being said, I'm excited. And so I already know, like, the first thing is to, as soon as I wake up, I think I'm going to start a routine of a tapping probably first, if I'm not able to just go straight to a meditation. And yeah, you know, so I'm going to work on that, I think, today as it kind of comes to me. And another thing is with my daughter's routine in the morning, which she's doing awesome, like it's all good, but I realized, so she listens to music. I let her listen to music, no TV, but listen to music in the morning as she's getting ready. And I did this today kind of instinctively, and I saw how it worked. So I'm going to do that. So I wrote that down is, you know, the music's going to turn off at a certain time. And that's the signal of like, finish just putting on your coat, you know, whatever. Because what happens is with the music, it like draws them back in and it's distracting. And the problem is let's say the bus comes at 8, which it doesn't, but let's say it comes at 8 and it's like 7:54. My point is, especially kids, like they don't understand that a minute can make the difference. So yeah, anyway, but overall I'm really excited, and yeah, love you guys.